Hey everyone, the British royal family is no stranger to drama, but the latest situation involving Meghan Markle has reignited public interest in ways no one saw coming. What started as a simple moment has now turned into a massive crisis, raising serious concerns about Meghan's relationships, her motives, and what she might be hiding from Prince Harry and the rest of the royal family. It all started when Harry, during what seemed like an ordinary evening, borrowed Meghan's phone to search for something. What he found left him in shock evidence that Meghan had deleted a series of personal photos of her and Prince Andrew, Harry's troubled uncle, who has been involved in several scandals. The discovery is huge and has thrown the royal family into chaos as they try to manage the situation. Harry's reaction was immediate and intense when he realized the photos were gone from both Meghan's phone and her cloud storage. Sources close to the couple say Harry's demeanor changed instantly, his eyes bloodshot as he realized the weight of what he had uncovered. Tensions rose and Meghan quickly became defensive, her face reportedly flushing with a mix of guilt and frustration. For Harry, this wasn't just about the missing photos, it was a startling glimpse into Meghan's secretive behavior and her willingness to erase parts of her past. The big question on everyone's mind now is why Meghan had those photos in the first place, and even more, why she felt the need to delete them so quietly. Speculations are swirling, but the most puzzling theory is that Meghan may have been closer to Prince Andrew than anyone realized. With Andrew's well-known ties to Jeffrey Epstein and his damaged reputation, any connection to him brings significant risks. While some might chalk up the deletion to routine digital cleanup, the situation suggests a more deliberate and calculated decision. Even a slight connection to Prince Andrew could hurt Meghan's already delicate position within the royal family. As someone who's presented herself as a champion of social causes and a critic of outdated systems, being tied to Andrew's controversial past could turn into a PR disaster. What makes this even more intriguing is Meghan's history of carefully controlling her public image. She's always been particular about what parts of her life she lets the world see, often highlighting her glamorous side while hiding anything less flattering. The fact that she went to such lengths to erase photos of herself with Andrew raises suspicions about what she's really trying to cover up. Is it just embarrassment, or is there a deeper, more damaging truth she's desperately trying to hide? The potential consequences of Meghan's actions go far beyond a few deleted photos. If the photos were indeed intimate or compromising, Meghan's decision to delete them could be seen as a deliberate move to distance herself from a harmful connection. But this raises a tough question: why was she linked to Prince Andrew in the first place? For someone who has built her image as a modern, independent royal, any connection to Andrew would be a troubling contradiction to her public persona. The idea that Meghan may have been closer to Andrew than she'd like to admit casts doubt on her claims of being a disruptor of royal traditions and a champion of progressive values. It hints at a level of hypocrisy that her critics have long suspected but could never prove. More than just protecting her own image, Meghan's actions seem aimed at safeguarding her family's reputation too. By deleting the photos, she wasn't just shielding herself, but also protecting Harry, who has remained fiercely loyal to her, despite the growing rift between him and his royal relatives. For Harry, who is already struggling with the complicated dynamics of his relationship with the royal family, this discovery is another hit that complicates both his public image and his personal loyalties. This scandal isn't an isolated event, it's part of a bigger pattern of secrecy and control that seems to define Meghan's approach to her public life. From her dramatic exit from royal duties to her ongoing battles with the British press, Meghan has often portrayed herself as a victim chased by a relentless media and misunderstood by an unsympathetic royal family. However, this victim narrative is increasingly being questioned as more of her private behavior surfaces. The deletion of the photos fits into this troubling pattern. Meghan's need to control every aspect of her story often pushes her to take extreme steps to maintain the image she wants the world to see. Whether it's filing lawsuits against tabloids or releasing a carefully crafted Netflix documentary, Meghan's actions show just how invested she is in shaping her own narrative, even if it comes at the expense of honesty and transparency. This need for control raises valid concerns about what else she might be hiding. If she's willing to go to such lengths to erase parts of her past, what other secrets could she be keeping from Harry, the royal family, or the public? Meghan's critics argue that her willingness to manipulate her image, even if it means bending the truth, reveals a deeper character flaw, one that prioritizes her own interests over those of her family and responsibilities. As a public figure, reactions to this latest scandal are predictably divided. Her supporters continue to rally behind her, while her critics point to this incident as more evidence of her supposedly deceptive nature. For those who have always been suspicious of Meghan, the news of her secretive deletions only strengthens their belief that she is a master manipulator, willing to do whatever it takes to protect her carefully crafted image. Even among her strongest supporters, however, there's a growing sense of unease. The constant stream of controversies, each more unusual than the last, is starting to wear thin. Meghan's narrative of being a misunderstood outsider is losing its appeal as it becomes overshadowed by recurring patterns of secrecy and deflection. The public's trust, once a major asset for Meghan, is now in serious doubt. This trust deficit has broader implications for both Meghan and Harry. Their public image isn't just about personal pride, it's the foundation of their brand and their financial independence. As they continue to build a life outside the royal family, their ability to maintain public support and media attention is crucial to their success. With each new scandal, the public support Meghan and Harry once enjoyed fades, leaving them more isolated from the audience they once engaged so successfully. While Meghan is at the center of attention, it's impossible to overlook the impact this situation has had on Prince Harry. For a man who has always taken pride in his loyalty to his family, his wife, and his values, discovering Meghan's actions feels like a personal betrayal. Insiders describe the confrontation between the couple as a sign of the growing tension between Meghan's need for control and Harry's desire for honesty. His reaction, marked by anger and disbelief, shows the emotional toll this has taken on him. Harry has always been Meghan's strongest supporter, even willing to sever ties with his own family to defend her. But this discovery challenges that loyalty, forcing him to face the possibility that Meghan's actions might not be just about protecting herself. They're about deceiving him too. The strain on Harry is clear as he's torn between his love for Meghan and his lingering sense of duty to his royal heritage. He finds himself in an impossible situation. Every decision feels like choosing between his wife and his past, a no-win scenario that only deepens his isolation. As the scandal unfolds, Harry's dilemma will likely grow even more intense, testing both the strength of his marriage and his commitment to the path he's chosen. The royal family's response to this latest scandal has been predictably silent. This calculated move speaks volumes about their strategy for handling the ongoing drama with Meghan and Harry. Rather than engaging publicly, the palace has taken a more subtle approach, letting the scandal play out in the media without direct involvement. This strategy of silence isn't new, it's a well-worn tactic the monarchy has used for decades, allowing public opinion to handle the situation for them. For the palace, Meghan's latest controversy is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it gives another chance to emphasize the Suss's reckless and self-centered behavior, reinforcing the idea that they are unfit to represent the royal family. On the other hand, it's a reminder of the messy and unpredictable nature of today's media, where even the most closely guarded secrets can be exposed for public consumption. By remaining silent, the royal family manages to hold the moral high ground, presenting themselves as dignified and above the chaos. This approach is in sharp contrast to Meghan's, which often includes public statements, legal battles, and carefully planned media appearances. The palace's restraint isn't just about following protocol, it's a strategic move to highlight the differences between the two sides, quietly discrediting Meghan's narrative without ever speaking a word. The implications of this situation reach far beyond personal drama, they affect the entire royal brand. The monarchy, which has spent centuries building an image of stability, tradition, and duty, is now caught in a modern media circus driven by scandal and speculation. Whether intentional or not, Meghan's actions destabilize the carefully crafted image of the royal family, forcing them to face issues they have long tried to avoid. Meghan poses a threat to the monarchy not only because of her actions, but also because of what she represents: a break from tradition, a challenge to authority, and a willingness to air grievances in public. Her presence in the royal family has always been contentious, but her ongoing controversies have turned her into a liability that the family can no longer overlook. As the palace struggles to address the latest revelations, it's evident that Meghan's influence will remain a source of tension for the foreseeable future. The question isn't just about managing the fallout from this latest scandal, it's about finding a way to move forward that safeguards the integrity of the royal brand while addressing the public's growing fatigue with the ongoing Sussex drama. This situation is clearly a deepening crisis with new dimensions. As the scandal surrounding Meghan Markle's deleted photos and her secretive connection to Prince Andrew unfolds, the story is taking unexpected turns that only heighten the drama. Each new revelation seems to uncover another layer of a complex narrative filled with deception, power struggles, and the relentless scrutiny that comes with royal life. Under the royal microscope, new details about the scandal keep surfacing, providing fresh insights into how this controversy is reshaping the Sussexes' public and private lives. One of the most pressing concerns in this scandal is the potential for leaks. Meghan's deletion of the photos suggests a desperate attempt to control what information gets out, but the act of deleting itself raises the stakes. In a digital age where nothing is ever truly erased, rumors of additional potentially compromising materials add to the tension, leaving the threat of further leaks looming over Meghan and Harry. Like a dark cloud, insiders suggest that other, more damaging photos or documents could exist, materials that Meghan may not have fully erased. The palace, known for its tight control over information, might be sitting on a cache of unflattering details that could be strategically leaked if Meghan and Harry continue to defy royal expectations. For Meghan, the fear of further exposure is not just about personal embarrassment, it's about the potential collapse of her entire public persona. This possibility adds an element of suspense to the unfolding drama, as everyone waits to see if the palace or another insider will choose to reveal more damaging information about her. The looming threat of exposure keeps Meghan and Harry on high alert, forcing them into a defensive position that only increases the tension between them and the rest of the royal family. Prince Andrew's involvement in the Meghan scandal adds an especially volatile element to the situation. Andrew, already shunned by much of the royal family due to his own controversies, is now being pulled back into the spotlight because of his past association with Meghan. This unexpected connection not only tarnishes Meghan's image, but also gives Andrew a chance to regain relevance, albeit in the most scandalous way possible. Reports indicate that Andrew's current girlfriend may have triggered Meghan's decision to delete the photos, as Meghan supposedly wanted to protect Andrew's new relationship from old, compromising images. This angle portrays Meghan as someone who is not just shielding herself, but also managing other people's secrets, a role filled with complications and potential betrayals. Andrew's reemergence in this scandal could upset the fragile balance within the royal family. As a disgraced royal trying to maintain a low profile, his renewed connection with Meghan might reignite public outrage and drag other family members into the turmoil, complicating their efforts to distance themselves from past scandals. The monarchy has worked tirelessly to separate itself from Andrew's misdeeds, and this latest twist threatens to undo that progress. Meghan's actions serve as an unwelcome reminder of a past that refuses to stay buried. Another layer of this unfolding drama is the toll it's taking on Meghan and Harry's marriage. The discovery of the deleted photos, along with the intense arguments that followed, highlights the growing strain between the couple. Harry's reaction, filled with shock, anger, and betrayal, reveals a deeper crisis in their relationship that goes beyond their public image and digs into personal trust and loyalty. As Harry struggles with what he found, the cracks in their marriage are starting to appear. Meghan's need for control and secrecy contrasts sharply with Harry's more open approach, especially regarding his past and his family. This fundamental difference in how they handle conflict and manage their public lives is creating friction that neither seems fully ready to confront. For Meghan, this scandal is not just about managing her image, it's about preserving her marriage. The pressure of maintaining a facade while grappling with internal conflict is immense, and constant scrutiny only amplifies every misstep. As Harry and Meghan attempt to navigate this latest challenge, the risk of their marriage unraveling under the weight of both public and private tensions looms ever larger. Their media strategy has always been a crucial part of their brand, but in this scandal, it seems to be failing them. In the past, they have relied on carefully timed interviews, sympathetic coverage, and strategic leaks to portray themselves as modern, relatable royals standing up against an outdated institution. However, this current crisis has exposed the limitations of that approach, as even the most controlled media narrative cannot fully contain the fallout from their actions. The Sussexes' efforts to manage the story, whether through silence, carefully crafted statements, or legal threats, are increasingly met with skepticism. Public sympathy, once a reliable asset for the couple, is dwindling in the face of ongoing controversies. The perception that Meghan and Harry are not being entirely honest or transparent is gaining momentum, making it harder for them to reclaim control of the narrative. Their media strategy's failure is worsened by their ongoing feud with the British press, which continues to dissect every detail of their lives. Instead of creating a redemptive story, Meghan and Harry find themselves trapped in a cycle of defensiveness and damage control, which only keeps the scandal alive. Each new revelation feels like a hit to their carefully crafted image, and their inability to effectively counter the narrative is becoming increasingly clear. Public perception of Meghan and Harry has always been split, but this latest scandal has tipped the scales further against them. For many, Meghan's actions reflect a broader pattern of behavior secretive, manipulative, and willing to bend the truth to fit her desired narrative. The more Meghan attempts to distance herself from her past, the more entangled she seems in it, and the public is growing impatient with her efforts to control the narrative. This shift in perception is important because it impacts not only Meghan's reputation but also Harry's. Public disillusionment isn't limited to Meghan, it extends to Harry, who is increasingly viewed as complicit in his wife's actions. The sense that Harry has abandoned his principles and family to protect Meghan is eroding his once stellar reputation, making him seem weak and easily manipulated. For the Sussexes, the court of public opinion is a battleground they are losing. Their repeated missteps, combined with a reluctance to take responsibility, have portrayed them as a couple out of touch, with reality more focused on protecting their brand than on being honest. This shift carries real consequences for their future endeavors, as public support is a vital element of their ongoing relevance and financial success. Meghan's actions have further isolated her within the complicated web of royal relationships. By deleting the photos of herself with Andrew, she not only tried to erase a connection she deemed damaging, but also unintentionally signaled her distrust of the royal family. This move can be seen as a symbolic severing of ties, making any hope of reconciliation with the Windsors even more unlikely. The fallout from this scandal has likely widened the gap between Meghan and the rest of the royal network, including those who might have once sympathized with her. The royal family's aversion to scandal and their emphasis on discretion mean that Meghan's attempts to manage her image clash with the institution's core values. Her actions are seen not just as personal missteps, but as direct challenges to the royal code of conduct. As Meghan becomes more isolated, her ability to navigate the complex dynamics of the royal network shrinks. This isolation affects her personally, but it also puts Harry in a tough spot, caught between his loyalty to Meghan and the growing divide with his own family. The bridges Meghan has burned may never be fixed, and the fallout from that separation is becoming clear with every new scandal. The palace's choice to stay silent during these controversies is a brilliant example of handling a crisis. By not directly responding, the royal family lets the public shape the story, keeping themselves away from the drama and quietly questioning Meghan and Harry's actions. This approach works well because it keeps the spotlight on the Sussexes and their ongoing issues. It also shows the palace's strategy to protect the monarchy by allowing Meghan and Harry's behavior to speak for itself. By avoiding public arguments, the royal family maintains its image of grace and calm, which stands in sharp contrast to the Sussexes' more unpredictable public behavior. It's a smart tactic that shows how the palace can manage scandals without getting caught up in them. The palace's strategy shows they're okay with letting Meghan and Harry's reputations fall apart because of their own decisions. As the Sussexes struggle to handle their public image, the palace only grows stronger, proving that the monarchy is a solid institution that rises above personal drama. While Meghan and Harry deal with the effects of this scandal, it's clear that their future projects are at stake. Their work, from making media productions to public speaking, depends a lot on their personal brand, which is now seen as damaged. Possible partners and sponsors might view them as risks instead of valuable teammates, making it tougher for them to keep their public careers alive. For Meghan, whose image has always focused on being relatable and empowering, the ongoing scandals create a big challenge. Each new issue chips away at the reputation she has worked hard to build, making it harder for her to stay credible in her many activities. The Sussexes' ability to recover from their recent troubles will largely depend on how they handle their story from here on out. As public trust slips away, their choices are becoming fewer. This isn't just about how people see them, it's about money too. A damaged reputation can hurt their earnings, affecting everything from book deals to streaming contracts. For a couple who wants to be seen as big players in the media world, the pressure is enormous, and they could lose a lot if they can't win back the public support. Watching Meghan and Harry go through one scandal after another feels like a never-ending drama that has lost its excitement. What started as a fascinating tale of a couple breaking free from royal life has turned into a confusing mess of secrets, lies, and public blunders. The latest drama with Meghan's deleted photos and her secret ties to Prince Andrew is just one more twist in a story that seems to have no ending. It's hard not to feel a mix of disbelief and frustration over it all. It's quite ironic that Meghan and Harry, who left the UK to escape the media spotlight, now find themselves at the heart of a scandal they seem to have contributed to. Meghan's choices, like deleting photos and hiding her past, make it look like she's hiding something bigger. It's a problem they've created for themselves. Instead of owning up to their actions, the couple keeps blaming the press, the palace, and everyone except themselves. What's really surprising is how they don't realize that their constant attempts to control the story are backfiring. Each time Meghan tries to erase part of her history or Harry speaks out against his family, it just creates more drama. They seem stuck in a cycle they can't escape, and in doing so, they are hurting their own reputations. The couple seems to be pulling the royal family back into the drama they say they want to leave behind. Harry's feelings about Meghan's secretive actions make sense, but they also show some bigger issues in their relationship. For a couple that values honesty and being modern, there's a surprising amount of secrecy and manipulation going on behind closed doors. This is far from the image of love and togetherness they want to share. If Harry is feeling shocked now, it makes you wonder what else is hidden and how long this partnership can handle the pressure of public attention and private doubts. The royal family's choice to stay quiet speaks volumes. They've learned over many years that sometimes not responding is the best strategy. By allowing Meghan and Harry's actions to speak for themselves, the palace is letting the couple make their own mistakes. It's a cold and calculated way of doing things that shows how much the Sussexes struggle with the royal game. At the core of this is Meghan's endless desire to create her own story, no matter how exhausting it becomes. People are starting to see through the mask she wears, and the sympathy that once helped her rise is fading fast. It's tough to cheer for someone who always seems caught up in drama, especially when it looks like she's the one making it happen. Meghan's image of empowerment and honesty is now clouded by doubts and controversies, making it hard for her to find her place in a world that doesn't believe in her anymore. It's sad to think about the potential Meghan and Harry once had. They could have been true reformers of the monarchy, bringing a fresh perspective to an old institution. Instead, they've turned into exaggerated versions of themselves, stuck in a loop of scandals and self-promotion. The recent news about Meghan's secretive actions is just another sign that the biggest challenges often come from within. In the end, it's hard not to feel let down by Meghan's choices. In Harry's seeming unawareness, there's a missed chance for something much better. As they keep moving forward on this journey, it's important to wish for a moment of pause, a chance to think things through, and perhaps break the cycle before it's too late. If they don't, their story might not be seen as one of success, but rather as a warning about what can happen when ambition, secrecy, and the need for control spiral out of control. That wraps up today's discussion. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share your comments below. Thanks for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye, and see you next time.